Welcome back, my boys and girls. So today we're going to be taking a quick look at some output using the HD Retrovision cables on my PlayStation 1. So I just wanted to kind of highlight the kind of quality we get out of using these cables for the PS1. You know, there's a lot of people out there who they want to stick to the original hardware. We definitely have other options to play PlayStation 1, but many people still have a PS1 and want to use it. So I think this is a sweet option. And one of the things I do have to say before we really get into it too much is that if you want to buy these component cables, any of the component cables made by HD Retrovision or any of the adapters that are made, you do need to make sure you double check and make sure that your TV can output 240p over component. If it cannot, then these cables are not going to be something for you unless you have some kind of converter or something along those lines. But you probably won't be looking for these necessarily if you have something like that. But these cables do work on a lot of televisions. I've tested these out on numerous TVs and monitors that I have in my house, and I have not had an issue on any of them. But just because I have had an easy time and success doesn't mean that you will. So there are going to be some links in the description if you want to peep that out, to do to look at the 240p test to ensure that your TV is compatible. So peep that out for sure. But the one thing with these cables is this specific cable is not a PlayStation 1 cable. What I am using is the Genesis Model 2 component cable with the PlayStation 1 adapter. So I think this cable is just so amazing. The compatibility and how versatile it is with the numerous systems it's compatible with is amazing. You know, they do have adapters for the Sega Saturn, PlayStation 1, and Neo Geo, and for the Genesis Model 1 for this particular component cable. So you have a lot of different options. And even then, with those adapters, there's going to be multiple compatibilities with other systems as well. So I'll have a link in the description so you can look at those charts and all that and see what the compatibilities are. Because, hey, these cables can be used for a lot of different systems that I have not mentioned yet, but the compatibility charts do go over that to ensure you're getting what you need and it will work for you. So PS1, I don't have too many games for this system at this time. I have a decent little handful of most of the games that I want. I'm not an extreme collector, so I don't just buy every game that I find. I only buy games that I want. And at this time, don't have a ton of games, but I figured this one would be pretty neat to highlight. You know, these 2D games, if you're playing on a HDTV, through composite or, certain other cables, it looks like a mess to me. Now, a lot of people will say, let's just play these old school systems on a CRT. And I'm with you on that for sure, but not everybody has space, room, or the desire to play their retro games and systems on a CRT. And that's okay if you do, if you got that kind of setup, but a lot of us don't. And it is a beautiful thing to play on, the original hardware, the original hardware with the original kind of TVs that it was meant for. These systems definitely look beautiful that way, but a lot of people want to be able to play these systems on their newer TVs, on their high-def TVs. And it's great to have these options for sure. These HD Retrovision cables, I have been pleasantly surprised with every system I've tested them out on. I'm just like, wow. I mean, I can't see going back. There's a lot of things you can do with these cables. As long as your TV is compatible, great. If not, you can use a converter box or component to HDMI converter box, that kind of thing. An OSSC works as well. So there's lots of options to use these, but I think most people aren't going to be looking at that way. They're just going to be looking for something that they can get their games playing and looking the best possible way without spending hundreds of dollars. Now, some people will say the HD Retrovision cables are a bit pricey, and yeah, I will agree, but I think at the same time, you get what you pay for. I've bought plenty of cables in the past that were cheap and done the job. You know, S-video cables, AV, component, SCART, just all depends on the system and for how I want to do it. But a lot of times with the cheaper cables, I'm fairly disappointed. Not always. I mean, I can't knock everything out there, but typically you do get what you pay for. And with these cables, I think they are amazing. The price is put off for some, but if you want to get the best possible output on a compatible TV, then these are definitely the way to go. Especially with the extra adapters to be able to use the Genesis cables on multiple systems. I think that is pretty sweet. I really dug using them on the Sega Saturn and on the Neo Geo, especially the Neo Geo. Just it brightened my world when I seen the output with that. And we're still going to be doing a video on that in particular. But these definitely great option. If you're in the UK, you know you grew up with RGB SCART. And you're pretty much good. You probably don't need to worry about these unless your TV that you have now doesn't support it. You know, I'm not 100% how the TVs and, you know, PAL regions are. You know, I've never been out of the US, but, you know, you probably are accustomed to that kind of output, the quality that we never had so much. And it's unfortunate, you know, if you're in the States and you want to use SCART, you know, you got to kind of jump through hoops depending upon what kind of monitor you have, or if you want to get a FrameMeister or an OSSC or a cheap converter box, that kind of thing. You know, I'm not knocking any particular option. I just want to showcase options that we do have, and this is one that's pretty sweet. You know, I do like using SCART through my OSSC. And I actually do have retro access SCART cables for pretty much every system that I own, including the PS1. And I'll be showcasing that. Did I just die? Yeah, I'm talking and playing the game at the same time, guys. I'm not redubbing this. But I do have the retro access SCART cables for the PS1. I'll be showcasing that in a future video. And that is equally as amazing as this. But you do have to have the proper setup for that. You do have to have other means if you're in the US to plug that into your HDTV, and that can be pretty pricey, especially if you're not hardcore about it. You're not trying to collect everything, you're not trying to record videos for YouTube, stuff like that. So then it's kind of a thing. Well, what can we do? What can we do? And this is an option. Definitely, if there are other options that you feel are just as good or better or cheaper, I'm fine with you guys sharing that. You know, I've gone over several options in the past, and we'll be going over more in the future for each system out there. It's just going to depend on your budget, what you want to get, how you want to use it, and no right or wrong answers. Just want to share with you guys. So with that said, I do appreciate you guys stopping in. If you want to grab these cables, hit up castlemaniagames.com. 10% off with my code PIXEL10. And you get free shipping for anything over $20 within the States. I believe internationally it's $50. Double check on the website to make sure. But with that code PIXEL10 and getting the free shipping on these cables, you are getting them a bit cheaper than going direct through HD Retrovision. And castlemaniagames.com is an authorized reseller of these cables, so nothing to lose going through them. You get pretty quick shipping. You know, whenever I've ordered from Castlemania, I've pretty much gotten everything within a couple days. So you can definitely expect great service there. So smash that like button, subscribe, do all that cool stuff. It really does mean the world to me. You know what I'm saying? If you want to jump into my Patreon and show a little support to the channel. That is appreciated as well. Just as little as $1 a month, $5 a month, whatever you are comfortable with. It does greatly help me out and enters you into some awesome ass giveaways every month. For the month of April, we are giving away a Nintendo Switch, a Super Nintendo Classic, and a couple Raspberry Pi 3B Pluses with cases, mind you. So almost complete setups on those Pis. Those will be for patrons in the month of April. Join up if you want. If not, it's cool. Appreciate everyone. You guys all help me out greatly. Thank you, and I will catch y'all next time. Peace out. Bye-bye. Boom.